Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tusk Talk with Ty. It is Monday, January 27th. We're a little later than I wanted to go live. I wanted to go live at like 6, but we're, you know what, 6:19 p.m. works out fine too.
It's his fault.
Are you trying to point at me?
I am pointing right at you.
The other way.
Oh, yeah? Right.
Yeah, on my screen?
It's your fault. I can't do it.
It sucks.
It's your fault.
This is the way it looks to me. Just saying.
So we first off, shout out to Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for helping make all this possible. You know, your support goes miles. I don't think some people realize. It really helps keep this thing afloat. So I do appreciate you. If you want to check out Patreon, we're doing a new giveaway in Patreon. We're giving away some cards, not just any cards. We're giving away some of these bad boys right here. These are On It cards. I put a video out today describing what exactly is going on with these. So if you're a Patreon supporter, go watch the video. You can watch it on Patreon /Tusk Talk with Ty, or you can go into Discord, Tusk Talk Discord, and just click on Ty videos, and there it is. Okay. Also, alongside me today, I don't know what the hell we're doing with SEC Unleashed right now, but this is Travis Ford and Tim Neal from SEC Unleashed. I think there's going to be some changes moving forward with that. Kind of a work in progress. What we may be doing is basically just bringing you guys on Tusk Talk on like Monday nights.
Yeah.
You know,
Or more.
Yeah, post games, I'm all about it, especially when I'm gone in March. Not that we'll have much to talk about because, you know, the end of March, Razorback basketball is going to be set. They're going to be on their hands. They're going to be
talking about the number 1 ranked Razorback baseball team.
Yeah.
That's where they'll be in March.
Yeah.
That's where they'll be in March.
Yeah. Yeah, it's depressing. This is a call-in show, by the way. Why not? We're going to make it interesting.
Wow.
If you want to call in, I'm going to give Tusk Talk with Ty Discord members 10. No.
4.
12.
15,000 XP. 15,000 XP. All you got to do is call in. That's
Mr.
it.
DJ, what's up, bro?
If you join Tusk Talk with Ty Discord, if you're brand new and you join, I'm going to give you 10,000 too. So imagine that. All you got to do is join Discord and then call. Boom, you got 25K right there, right out the gate, man.
Nice. Hey, Camo, Travis uses Microsoft Paint for thumbnails. That's
Absolutely.
Travis, well, yeah, okay.
Camo, believe it or not, Ty made this one.
I thought this thumbnail was okay.
I said it was awesome. He said, what program do you use for these thumbnails?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. I thought he really said that about Microsoft Paint.
Now, that would be a good one.
I said he uses Microsoft Paint.
I was like, what a mean thing to say. Like, bro.
I use Photoshop when I do them.
Yeah, so do I.
Which I'll be doing more moving forward, most likely. So I'll take care of that part for you, buddy.
Yeah, all right.
You're not even bad today. I literally told Ty, I was like, you're getting better at those, bro.
Well, you know, the thing is like, I've made some really good ones in the past, but I got used to like a style that was just different than everyone else's. And I was like, well, I want to stick with this. And then you were showing me another way, and it looked really good.
Hey, you got a lesson from Travis? Now I'm jealous. I need one.
Oh, hey, yeah. Look who it is, Travis and Tim. What's up, guys? Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to, speaking of Travis, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results, hundreds of 5-star reviews. I feel like I always repeat that one.
I've been servicing all day, bro.
501-244-3667. 501-244-3667. Give them a call. Their link is provided for you down below as well. And, of course, BroThrow. We're going to get into BroThrow here in a little bit because Super Bowl is upon us. If you want to lay down some bets, we're going to take a look at that later. So, yeah, first off, okay, boys. We haven't talked. We took last week off. Nobody gives a shit about Razorback basketball right now. Like I said before the show, I probably made the wrong choice to title this about anything related to basketball, but it is what it is. We're here. I know there's at least 5 people that care, so that's all that matters. We're going to discuss a little bit of this basketball recruiting, but I want to get both of your reactions to just what the hell happened against Oklahoma inside Bud Walton Arena. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Timmy.
I mean, it's a mixture of a lot of the same same stuff with the Razorbacks, inconsistent outside defense, perimeter defense, at times poor rebounding. I mean, there was also some officiating that was just atrocious. So
There was.
I mean, when you mix those things all together, we're never going to pull those games out. It was just really bad all the way around. Mr. DC Kyle, Travis didn't wait till that loss to get drunk. He was drunk as that game was playing.
I was sitting in my living room drinking water, bro. I got drunk the night before that. I'll have you know.
No, but I mean, that's basically what I saw in it. Is we did a lot more of the same thing we do. We played a little bit better. We were obviously in the game. In fact, I looked at the line right before the game. It was 3.5 point favorite Arkansas, and I was shocked without Boogie that we'd be a 3.5 point favorite over anybody.
Yeah.
So you know, we performed better, but still a lot of the same stuff that we've seen all season long. Travis?
You know what I've noticed is I think they play better without Boogie. The rest of the team. I think Boogie's a great player, but I also think he plays a little bit of hero ball. You know what I mean? Like he's just trying to save the whole game himself every time, and I think they're a little more cohesive without him. I don't think Boogie sucks or anything. Like he's great with him. I just maybe it's like that thing to where they're like, all right, now we have to do something instead of Boogie will save us, you know. But I was so confident we were going to win that game that toward the, like I'm just sitting there going, nah, we got this. We're in there. And then just toward the end, and I was like, tore my heart out of my body. And that last play, I don't even know what happened there. That was trash, bro.
Well, my comments told me it was a foul, a very obvious foul. And I don't know. I thought it was more like a 50-50 call. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been probably a soft call. Because
it should have been a call you get at home, though.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I can't argue with that. Fair.
I would say I think
you get at home, even if you don't get it on the road. The thing with Nelly Davis, he did score 18 points, which is something we've been begging for, but he did it on some of the worst shooting, less than 33% shooting field goal.
18 attempts, dude.
18
attempts.
I thought that was at least good for his confidence that he made some, though.
No, it's good that he scored 18 points, but at the end of the day, if you're going to shoot under 33%, that's pretty terrible.
I think that's right. I think it was 18 attempts. Or was
he was 5 of 16, 3 of 11,
okay.
3 of 11 from 3-point land. So
that first shot that he put up, I was like, please go in, because I feel like that really could have got him going quicker.
Yeah.
And how much that does to the rest of the floor. If you just have an outside threat, if you have a shooter, doesn't even have to be an outside guy, just someone who could take over. I always reference JD Notte because that's what the guy did. You know, if he wasn't making outside shots or driving straight to the rim, he was getting to the free throw line. You know, I mean, he was just finding ways. And Arkansas, even with Boogie Flan, they really didn't have that. Adu Thero at times, but even I feel like Adu is kind of, you know, he's more times hit than he has missed, but there's still a lot of missed nights for him.
Does it not feel like to you that he's kind of slowed down? Like he was the man for how many games in a row, and then all of a sudden, he's not scoring like he scored. He's not doing what he did early in the season.
I think
That's
so.
what I feel like.
Yeah, and even though he had.
I mean, he was 2 for 4 from the field.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 4 shots.
Yeah.
And he was averaging 16, 18 points before, early in the season. And now
he's the leading. I think he's still the leading scorer.
But now he seems like he's backed off the amount of shots he takes.
He also only got 30 minutes, which again, I don't know if he rode the bench a lot in the second half. I didn't bother to go back and rewatch this game, but
he wasn't in foul trouble though, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He only had 2 fouls for the game.
He had 2 fouls.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and when I noticed he wasn't on the floor, the first thing I did was I went and looked at his fouls. Like, wait a minute, did he sneak in a 3rd or 4th foul a couple of fouls that I missed? And he was still at 2. It's like, what is going on? So I wonder how much of a difference the game make, or how much different this game is if we did get the Adu Thero. It's not like he's been cold forever or for a long time, but certainly lately, I think there's something to that. What if we got the Adu Thero, coming out of November into December, like that version of Adu? And he's been pretty spot on in some SEC games as well. But I am with you. I do think he has slowed down, and he's not as aggressive.
Yeah.
And so
Are you talking about Thero?
Yeah.
dude,
That's
Yeah.
my feeling for sure.
I agree.
he did have 10 points, 5 boards. I mean, that's not terrible. 2 steals, only 2 turnovers, but yeah.
Well, and credit the
four
Razorbacks for that single digit turnover game without Boogie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
9 turnovers without Boogie.
Yeah.
Who was, I guess, the freshman leader, at least in the conference, maybe in America, in assist to turnover ratio.
It was pretty good. I know that. And he led all freshmen in the country in at least one stat, I think, assists. So I think he was right at like 5.5 to 6 assists a game, which is really good.
So for us to have 9 turnovers without him, it's pretty impressive. I just feel like there were just some things. One, shooting still wasn't great. Perimeter defense wasn't great. There were just some things. We got out rebounded, which is our calling card.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think Adu is getting a little more aggressive though.
You think so? Oh, Jonas
Adu. I know it's
Jonas Adu who had one rebound.
Yeah.
One rebound and no points.
Is that what he had?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the game before then.
Well, he only played 9 minutes, and Cal kind of cleared that up, and I honestly didn't watch the post game.
My brain has started deleting the game already. So it does that. I'm telling you, I just forget about it. It's like trauma, and my brain's just like, nope, we're not going to remember that one.
Okay, I did watch the post game, and it just popped in my head. He said it was the matchup on the floor, basically, I think is what he was trying to.
Bad matchup for him.
Yeah. That's why I only got the 9 minutes. Something about the defending the rim, which I did say, and I said this in the post game. Their play around the post defensively was better. Even though they didn't rack up a whole ass ton of blocks, they still did a good job of altering looks. And I'm pretty sure 2 of those blocks, I know 2 of them were outside perimeter blocks by, I think 1 or 2 by Z. But the other 2 were right around the rim. So they did a pretty decent job of staying near the post and staying near the rim and playing better defense there. But it's still, at times, we've seen this most of the year, and I'll even say Boogie Flan has fallen victim to this. Getting beat off the dribble has been something, and it's not just like 1 or 2 guys. It's like 3 guys that are, getting beat off the dribble. Boogie Flan, good defender like when he wants to be, and then sometimes he's either just maybe it's something to do with the direction of his feet, his hips. I don't know, but the guy was getting beat off the dribble before obviously he got hurt, and they've been without him.
For every good thing about Boogie, he is a freshman, right?
He is a freshman.
So
that's true.
There's some learning there for him, footwork learning for sure.
Yeah, so Arkansas did shoot 37% from the floor, 33% outside.
Yeesh. God, dude.
Again, not bad at the free throw line. Actually, really damn good. This is back-to-back games. They're shooting north of 80% at the line, and this is off 16 attempts. That's pretty good. But whatever, it wasn't enough. Had you made those other 3, if you were 100%, what would we be talking about right now? Maybe an Arkansas win, but maybe not, because the issues with Arkansas, it's not so much the free throw line necessarily. It's like everything else: half-court offense. A lack of now a point guard, which, like to Tim's point, even without Boogie, they still only had 9 turnovers, but the offense typically does flow through the one. It flows through the point guard. He's got to be the distributor, and they don't really have that. And I don't know. Wagner did, and this did shock me. I didn't think this. He did end up with 5 assists. So maybe that's going to be his. But when he dribbles on offense, when he tries to drive to the rim, I almost always expect him to turn the ball over. He is so reckless with the ball when he drives straight to the rim. So
I know a guy like that. He plays football.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Appreciate those of you that are here. Again, this is Tim Neal, Travis Ford. And I'm trying to read chat here.
We're all suffering through the hard times together, guys.
You can pay for talent, but you can't pay for chemistry. I don't know. Ty doesn't pay us anything, so you're gonna get some talented people on here, Ty. You're probably gonna have to start.
I know
that's what Mims is for.
I know.
We're just here, dude.
Yeah, Courtney might as well just be a part of Tusk Talk too. I mean,
Mims and Hamner and
not here, right?
Mason Cho. Those are the smart friends.
And Travis.
Yeah. RQ56 is ready for Razorback baseball. Yeah,
I'm ready for track season.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, if you're looking for a good win, Arkansas Gymnastics beat the national champions last week. So
I saw that. Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Walk-off victory.
Someone's doing something right.
Someone.
I'm drinking a Bloody Mary in a can right now. You believe that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I didn't have any beer in my fridge, so Tim came over and drank it all.
I didn't. I don't drink beer.
Ty said for years the SEC officiating is terrible. Yes, I have. I've been all over the SEC.
How many of you guys rolled your eyes during the Natty whenever you heard it was an SEC crew? I was just like, oh, God. And those teams had no idea what was coming. It didn't matter in the end, but
it really didn't matter. Were you guys surprised at that at all? Ohio State just going up and down the dude,
they looked, dude, in the game before the Notre Dame game, they looked pretty legit. So I was just, my heart wanted Notre Dame to win, but my brain knew Ohio State would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about, speaking of the Big Ten, did you know Jim Knowles left for Penn State? He left Ohio State for Penn State. Like,
really?
Why? Yeah. What are you
When
doing?
did that happen?
The other day. I saw it on Twitter, like yesterday. And I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? Y'all just won a national championship and you're going to work at Penn State, bro? But I don't know if he went there or what, but
you pay for talent.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's here's a super chat. Whoa.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jerry has ruined my life.
That's reasonable.
Dude, are you guys watching Landman? Are either of you watching that?
No, but it's on my list. It's on my list.
It's good. Landman is like really good. Jerry Jones is in it. He has like a moment.
Really?
Someone's in the hospital and he's there and he's talking about working with his family. Listen, man, there are bigger things in football. And I know there's some of the stuff people say in Discord, the Cowboy fans in Tusk Talk Discord are just like, oh, I hate that man, and I get it. Like, I was really pissed when we moved from St. Louis, when the Rams moved from St. Louis back to LA. I was pissed. I'm sure I was saying all kinds of stuff, but there are some things bigger than football, and I thought that was a really cool moment on Landman. I really did. No matter what you think of Jerry Jones.
Dude, what if that guy Jerry Jones hired is awesome?
Right here?
He's Marty Schottenheimer's kid.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Although Marty Schottenheimer owns a terrible stat. He's the winningest coach to never win a championship. So he kind of fits in.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes here, and Bot Magnet's already bringing it up. If Cal ruins Acuff like he did Nelly and Adu, we're gonna have problems. Is that Cal ruining those guys? I mean, also, by the way, Nelly did lead all freshmen in assists, all point guard freshmen in assists. I think that was not just the SEC. I think that was in the country, if I'm not mistaken, which seems a little wild. Thinking about it, that might not be right. It might actually just be the SEC. Maybe it was. It was only like 5.5, 6 assists a game. So I don't know that he's ruined these players.
I think they were overrated.
What?
Nelly and Adu?
I don't know if overrated, but you can't have a flash in the pan season. You have guys all the time that have a big season and they go on to the pros or whatever, and they don't pan out for a year. They don't have a massive rookie year, and you never hear from them again. What about the kid from and I'm not trying to be offensive.
This is gonna be super offensive.
It probably is, because I do that. The kid from Bentonville who ended up with the Charlotte Hornets, but ended up playing G League for most of it.
Nick Smith.
No,
Nick Smith's from Bentonville.
Or not Bentonville. Sorry, Monk.
Yeah. I mean, he was very talented at Kentucky. He was talented. He went to the Hornets. He hasn't really panned out. He's not a superstar or anything. No. He's a good player. It's possible that Nelly had a great season and he may never have another great season. He may be pretty average after that.
And there's plenty of 5-stars. I mean, that's true in all sports, right? Like, you get these kids that are highly touted, and they just don't pan out. In basketball, it seems like if they're really highly touted, they ought to go on and do something. And Monk was a bit of a surprise. I don't even know what the hell happened to him. I think he's He was
It
undefeated
just seems like
for a while.
Adu
I'm not
was
sure
so
now.
much more physical at Tennessee than he is here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he played us, I was like, that guy sucks. Like to play against, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then now it's just like, I don't know. He seems so soft for such a big dude. I thought he was gonna be our big guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like the stout physical guy. And I'm just like, well, you all right. You know?
So Meleek Thomas and Darius Acuff are McDonald's All-Americans. And that was that's what we were going to talk about today. I don't know how long we want to really carry on this subject, but it is cool, right? And I wanted to put like a hooray kind of sarcasm, on the thumbnail. Yeah, all right, a couple more All-Americans. you got a team here that's loaded with talent, even though it's just 9 guys now, 8, and God knows it's probably going to end up being like 6 guys and some walk-ons. I don't know, but
think you'll fill a team next year
by the end of the year. Yeah, no, I think you will. I don't think we're definitely not doing 9.
Yeah,
I mean, he might go 11 or 12, but they're definitely not doing 9.
The logic in that is so crazy to me. Just to touch on that for a second, the logic of getting 8 when we supposedly have the biggest NIL war chest in college basketball. I've seen that a couple places.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get so few players, man? It's weird. I just don't seem like. And I know his logic was like, well, we're just training him for other schools. Cool, we got him this year.
Yeah.
So put him on the bench. Pay the people.
He had a couple of reasons why to do it. And also, like, there's something about camaraderie and locking down that rotation where I guess you don't have to worry about hurting other people's feelings, and then that could have an impact on the team. That was something that people were talking about under Muss. Like he had, he'd fill out a roster and he'd have, a bunch of guys and 2 or 3 guys that you expect to get more minutes, not get those minutes. And then the theory was from some people, not all corners of Razorback media or Razorback Twitter or whatever, but there was some of that certainly in Discord and some other places and group chats that I'm in. Well, he's hurting these other guys' feelings and now they're getting more minutes and it's just this weird chemistry thing. And so essentially that's maybe a part of what he was trying to avoid. I don't buy that, but just another thing to throw out there, just why he went with that decision to just go with 9. And we're going to scratch our heads over it all year. And we've been scratching our heads, despite the fact that they were pretty deep at guard. Like that, you had a couple of combo guards. You felt good about the 2 and the 3 spot. You knew you were going to have Wagner and Flan at the point. Like you felt pretty good about what they were doing with the guard play and out at the wing, assuming Nelly, I don't know, was half as good as what he was at FAU, and right now he's not even 1/5 as good as he was at FAU. But so yeah, there's a lot of questions as to why he went this route, even though he's already kind of answered that. It's still just a head scratcher. Nobody does that now. I don't know of another roster, and maybe I'm sure there are people who only have like a 9-man rotation where there's only 9 guys getting 15 minutes or more or less, but I don't know that, but the rest of that roster is probably filled out with scholarship players that could probably play anywhere. So, and anymore, that's not just exclusive to just Kentucky or Florida or anyone else. It's like, everybody, because of the pedigree of coaching, has just gone through the roof. And so they're filling out, and plus the portal and NIL and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get that no one really gives a shit. No one cares. It's like, we're done with the year. But it is something that I'm sure plenty of Hog fans are still losing sleep over. And it is nice that they have a couple more McDonald's All-Americans. We were going over this a minute ago, and I'm a little bit surprised at how many McDonald's All-Americans Arkansas has actually had. And I'm going to share this screen.
It's quite a few.
This is from Hog Stats. I'm going to be real with you. This is Glendon Alexander.
I forgot about him.
Okay. I remember the name. Other than that, he's out of Carrollton, Texas. Anthony Black, of course. Willie Cutts.
Such a dope name.
Yeah. Todd Day. I knew that. Bayfall, of course.
Todd Day was another one of those come in with multiple McDonald's All-Americans because Lee Mayberry was too.
Yeah. Yeah. Boogie Flan, of course. Derek Hood. Ron Hury, another one I did not know. He was in 1986.
I didn't know Carter Knox was one either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joe Klein. Now, Joe Klein initially signed with Notre Dame and then transferred to Arkansas. Selected by the Sacramento Kings in the first round. Blah 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 blah. Andrew Lang out of Pine Bluff. That name, I do remember the name.
You were a young teenager, maybe preteen.
Who?
You with
Andrew
who?
Lang. With Andrew Lang?
Yeah.
That was 84.
So I was -5.
I was 1.
1? Dang. I thought you were older.
No, I was born in 83, bro.
Jesus.
Lee Mayberry, that was my all-time favorite Razorback when I was a kid. I had the jersey and everything. Ricky Norton, Bobby Portis, Kareem Reed, Darnell Robinson, Nick Smith. These are no surprise. Of course, we knew Nick Smith. DJ Wagner, again, was with Kentucky. I can't believe that plays through StreamYard. Way to go.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
Jordan Walsh and Corliss Williamson. Of course, we knew about Corliss. Big nasty. Look at that. Look at that resume, dude.
That's crazy.
I mean, 1992 McDonald's All-American. He was a parade All-American. I'm pretty sure he's still technically, when you include accolades, I think a lot of old school media guys still believe he's the greatest Arkansas's ever signed. Like if you want to talk rank, power polls, whatever, that Corliss would be number 1. 6'7", and the guy played like he was 7 feet tall, 290 pounds. Like, he was so aggressive around the post, man. He was so fun to watch.
I'm sad I missed those days.
Dude, oh my God. Sitting in the living room watching the Razorbacks. Of course, before Corliss, you had Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Oliver Miller. When Nolan really got it going. So what did we say that number was? 20 what?
I thought you said 23.
Was it 23? If we include Acuff and Meleek, that's crazy. I just wasn't aware of that. I guess like maybe 12. But then you forget, like, the McDonald's All-American thing goes back a little ways. So, yeah. So there you have it, man. That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's pretty cool.
Bay Fall plays for Kansas State now. No
yeah. He went back home.
He cut his hair, dude.
Yeah, he went back home. He's from Kansas, right? Wasn't he from? Or was he from Colorado?
Well, he didn't cut his hair.
He's from one of those places. Corliss purposely played against older guys when he was younger. Yeah. Corliss was the real deal, man. Mello wants to know, Tim, would you say Bobby didn't pan out?
Bobby
Portis?
Portis
was legit.
He's fine. Mello's trying to pick some shit here. Because I said that Meleek Monk didn't pan out, and what I really meant by that was he left college making you think he was going to be one of those NBA superstars, and he's not. With a 12-point career points per game average, he's not a superstar. I understand he's averaging 18 this season, but he's a very average career player. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. He played more than I'm ever going to play. But at the end of the day, do I think that he's the superstar I thought he would be when he left college? Absolutely not. Portis is fine. Portis is he's as good as you expect him to be. So maybe bad choice of words. Sorry, Mello.
He'll get you. Mello will get you.
Yeah, I love Mello. He's my favorite.
I don't care. I just don't care.
I forgot he ended up at Sacramento. I completely forgot. He's been there for
I did, Mello. I said my expectation coming out of college was he would be more like a superstar, more than he turned out to be, bro. And he didn't. I said it. That's who said it. I said, man, when he came out of college, he looked like he could be another superstar, and then he didn't. So he's average. And that's okay. It's okay to be average, because when you're an average of 300 people that get to play basketball for a living, you're still pretty badass. Let's not get butthurt over it.
I like it.
That's true. You bring up a good point, though. I try to tell people that all the time about the NFL. Like, just making a roster it's really, really, like, these are the best athletes in the world. Like, these are the best athletes when you consider their size, all their medicals, what they're capable of doing. These are the best athletes in the world. And just to make a roster, I get it. Like quarterbacks aren't exactly like Rambo out there, but just to make a roster is pretty crazy. The same thing could be said absolutely the NBA. And I cannot believe I forgot he ended up in Sacramento. He's been there for at least
2 years.
Is it 3?
I think it's 2.
Because he was at Charlotte for a little
this
while.
is his 3rd year. Yeah.
He didn't pan out at Charlotte, dude. I don't know that I think he got into the double digits, like average.
He averaged 11 points per game
his last year there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, which is about his career average, by the way.
Yeah.
Just 12.
Y'all excited that Big Mac is coming back?
I got a question. Do you think Boogie's gonna come back? Or do you think he's out of here?
No, he's gone.
Well, that sucks.
That'd be my guess. I mean,
do you think anyone's gonna come back from this roster?
I think so. Yeah, I do.
Knox, maybe.
Maybe Knox. I'm hoping Richmond.
I would think Richmond would.
What?
I would think he would. I like Richmond a lot.
I was like, did you just say I wouldn't think Richmond would?
Oh no, I was nothing. I was drinking.
I think I do think some of these guys are going to come back, and I think he's going to ask them to come back because I do think you want to build. You want to build that camaraderie, that chemistry, and it's just so hard to do with a brand new roster every year. And I realize he did that at Kentucky with all the freshmen, and but he always seemed to have a couple of core guys that you could kind of that you kind of build around. I don't think Boogie comes back. I haven't looked at any mock draft projections. But I don't know with his injury. But before his injury, I'm pretty sure he was certainly on people's minds. Talking.
Yeah, I guess with Acuff and the other one coming in, it wouldn't make much sense, huh?
Yeah, wouldn't make much sense with Acuff and Meleek, and these are two high-profile players. Which, to be fair, you got several of those guys on here now. I was asked about Brazil this morning. As a matter of fact, someone said, "Would you take him back?" And I was like, "I'm going to be real. I love
that dude. Needs to get his CDL, man. Get out of here."
I love what he could do at times, but we only get these like little burst moments from him, and he's not getting a ton of minutes, which is fair. But he's just not. He's never been the same. I don't know.
If you got Brazil from the first year he was at Arkansas, I would absolutely take that Brazil back.
Pre-injury,
he was a beast on the boards and dunked on everyone and had no fear.
Yeah. He's almost had 2 really dope dunks this year, and his arm just wasn't long enough.
It's flashes of back to the Brazil who came here.
Yeah.
And if we got that Brazil, I'd take it back in a heartbeat. But I don't want the Brazil we've had the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We need some dogs next year, man. Some physical ass players.
Some men.
Where are the guys that come in like a Corliss Williamson? Now they go straight
everybody else's team.
When you come to play with a man's body at 18 years old. I mean, that was LeBron James. The reason LeBron James could go pro is because he came in with a man's body, not a kid's body. Corliss Williamson came in with a man's body. Like he was already built like Karl Malone to begin with. Larry Johnson was built like Karl Malone to begin with. You don't see that in guys anymore. If those guys come, they're not coming to college. They're going straight to the pros.
Well, and also the NBA is kind of going away from those kind of guys. Like what the NBA is now is, and this is what they're bitching about. It's dribble down the floor, shoot the 3. Dribble down the floor, shoot the 3. That's all it is. And they're losing people. No one cares anymore. I would argue there's some other reasons. There's certainly some, some activism within the NBA that like kind of drove some people off. Like, man, and then the commercialism, which has been there since the freaking 80s when the NBA started to come back, thanks to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. But there's always been that, like, it's so silly when people gripe about that. Like, oh, it's just all corporate now. Well, it's been that way for decades, man. What are we talking about? But I can see now where it feels like every product in the NBA is nothing. It's like the same thing. You're watching, don't get me wrong, I'm not an avid NBA watcher. I'll watch the Celtics if they're on. That's about it. When it's playoffs, then I'm watching. But
I think part of it too is that the rules don't matter anymore. Those guys walk all the time. They carry the ball all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They foul or don't play defense, and nobody wants to watch it. Nobody just wants to watch everybody spread out and let a guy run in for a dunk. Just give me a dunk contest. I don't need.
I like that.
I like it when they Euro step to Canada.
Yeah, I mean, for real, it's they don't care about the rules. The NBA is not fun to watch.
Yeah.
Melo's got a point. He said Thero's 6'8", 230. Thero's the only physical player, I think, like the most physical player. He's probably not the only one, but he's the most physical player on the team, I think.
Thero's going to be one. I think that's going to be hard to get back.
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'8", 220 on the website, but I think that's right. He's actually closer to 225, 230.
I think he's got a good shot at the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see Wagner going too.
He's an East Coast kid. He's from Pittsburgh. He's got that in his blood, man. I mean, that's someone that you see it on the floor. He could play with anybody. There's no one that's going to really completely take him out of a game. Although, like Tim and I were talking about earlier, it seems like he's kind of something's different. There's several guys I would like to see back, but I don't know who, and I don't see Cal just completely wiping the slate clean. He's going to want some guys.
He's got plenty of room.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Musselman's Ghost said Z wants to play with his brother. He damn sure don't want to play against him.
I was going to say, I'd take his brother over him almost.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brother's the more physical one, man.
Wagner needs to go unless he wants to be a bench guy. I don't want him starting. Wagner is just I don't know. I feel like we're waiting on him to step into what Kentucky wanted out of him, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Again, guys, please like, share, hit the subscribe button. Up here on the top with me is Travis Ford, the owner of Direct Service Overhead, and he's also
allegedly. I just work here.
And I think we're probably gonna go to this format where we're the three of us are just gonna be here on Monday nights or whenever. I'm
gonna make us some badass graphics, guys. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, Josh Mindeman made the background you're looking at right now.
No, this one's awesome. I like Josh actually.
That's the U of A. That's the football graphic guy.
I steal a lot of ideas from him. He makes really good stuff.
He does, man. It's pretty lit. And down below us is, of course, Tim Neal. So follow all these guys on Twitter, and I don't know. Feel free to subscribe here. Oh man. So yeah, Acuff and Meleek both are McDonald's All-Americans. Again, I think they're number 23 and 24 or 22 and 23. I don't know. Acuff out of IMG Academy. We all know he had big-time offers. 5-star. 247 has him as a top 5 player in the country, the number 1 point guard, 6'2", 180 pounds. I mean, good Lord. There's your replacement right there. Acuff is going to be that guy. He's going to be that guy. And then Meleek on 247, and again, I kind of go back and forth. I know I'm supposed to just go to on 3, but Meleek is 6'3", 181 guard, recruited heavily by like everybody. Top 10 player on the 247 composite, number 2 shooting guard in the country, and the top 2 player out of the state of Georgia. Again, 6'3", 181 pounds out of Overtime Elite. So Arkansas's got a couple.
They produce a lot of talent out of Overtime, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
That's where Nas came from.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's see.
Isaiah Sealy, the kid out of Springdale. I'm always hesitant when a kid out of Springdale is given 4 stars. I'm just going to say that's not me being a hater because I'm a Fayetteville Bulldog. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's not though. They don't produce like Springdale High does not produce, especially in basketball. Like that's always kind of been Fayetteville's thing up here. That and just kicking the shit out of Springdale and everything. But
really. It's interesting.
This guy. Yeah, Tim's a Springdale guy. I'm a Rogers guy. That's hilarious.
In the 90s, that wasn't the case. I will admit, the 90s, Springdale kind of.
I hate that I have to go all the way back to the 90s when Springdale decided to split the harbor and destroy Springdale football.
Yeah, didn't do him any favors. Didn't do him any favors.
They're pretty good in BYA, man.
Well, they were good when they had the Springdale 5, which was obviously the Gus years, but they were pretty unstoppable then. But that was really
Only had one guy that panned out there too. The wide receiver.
At the NFL, though, yeah, Damian Williams.
Damian Williams, that was it.
Yeah. Norman transferred to Tulsa, didn't do anything. Mitch Mustaine transferred to USC and became a punter.
He became a baseball player.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was like their backup punter.
That's awesome.
He did run with the quarterbacks for a little while, but then he ended up being a backup punter or something, and then he got in trouble for selling some stuff, whatever. But
Matt Jones or Mitch Mustaine?
What? No.
Okay, but I'm very confused.
No. Mitch
I don't
Mitch
know
got
about that.
Mitch got in
He
trouble.
played baseball somewhere for a minute, and then Cleveland didn't do much. And
but he did one thing.
You know, in the chat, all these guys are talking about Mike Neighbors, man. Why is that guy still here?
I don't know, but I want to finish this point.
Okay.
In Cleveland did do one thing.
What's that?
He's responsible for Arkansas beating the last time Arkansas beat Alabama.
That's fair.
I mean, he better have a trophy somewhere in his room. Like, he got to go all the way back,
or a medal of some sort.
What was the question? Neighbors? Why
everybody's talking about Mike Neighbors in the chat.
He's the women's basketball coach, and the program's way down.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And from what I've seen some comments on Facebook from some former players. He's not particularly well liked from what I see.
I don't know
about the situation. Like, if this was 1997, I could talk to you about women's basketball because I was on the scout team there. But today, I don't keep up with it enough to talk about Mike Neighbors.
Angel, it wasn't that, Angel. I'm not gonna put that on screen, but it wasn't that. It was he was selling his prescription medicine. If you're talking about Mitch Mustaine,
he was talking about the guy that I was talking about.
We don't shame. Matt Jones is the greatest Razorback ever.
I like it.
He's my favorite player.
He's over Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, for me
over
he is.
D-Mac, bro.
Over D-Mac.
I don't want to get into it. No, him and D-Mac.
Good debate.
Him and D-Mac. It's like 1A, 1B. Just like what the guys that I've seen play in person, I have never seen anything like Matt Jones. Never in my life. To be that tall, that big, to look so slow on TV, only to see him in person beating corners and safeties who take good angles at him, and he just blows right by them. I've never seen anything like that. And to this day, I've never seen anything like that.
Because he ran like a gazelle.
Well, he did. Now, Darren McFadden him and Felix would do this thing where they just could like kick it into second gear. And that was just crazy. D-Mac is for sure one of the greatest Razorbacks of all time, but Matt Jones is still like, had never seen anything like that. And it blew my mind, because I can remember watching him on TV, like, man, how is he looks like what does he run, like a 4.8? Like, is the SEC slow? What the hell's going on? And then you watch him in person, and it's just because he was so damn long, he was so tall.
Isn't he basically the same thing as what we have now?
AJ Green, that is the comparison.
No, I wasn't talking about AJ Green.
Who are you talking about?
Our quarterback now. Not D-Mac.
Or not AJ Green.
Taylor
Green. I don't know why I said AJ.
Yeah, Taylor Green, Matt Jones
on the team also.
Say what?
Who? Me? I said AJ Green's on the team also.
Well, he is. That's true. He is back.
Fair.
What were you saying, Tim?
I just said they're basically the same size, same speed. One of them just had more talent than the other.
I don't know.
Throw the ball better, make better decisions with it.
I don't know. It's an interesting debate.
One of them can win a 7 overtime game.
That's fair. Yeah, one of them doesn't fumble the ball every time he takes off and runs. Yeah. But I will say, I think like his throwing mechanics, he's got the benefit of Bobby Petrino. What?
You see what Angel said?
No. Oh my God.
Hey, we'll try anything. That was wonderful.
Oh my God, dude. Sacrilege.
That's phenomenal.
We all make mistakes, man.
He just makes them really fast. No problem.
I like listening to him on the radio, and he's still my favorite Razorback.
Oh, I love that guy.
And he's doing good. Okay. Thank God for Matt Jones. Matt Jones could have had a decent run in the NFL, had personal issues. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, his rookie year with the Jags, I remember now, to be fair, it was an older Deion Sanders, but I remember the replay on ESPN was him beating out Deion Sanders on like a post route. Of course, Deion was not the prime time that we all remembered by that point, but
Right, yeah.
it was still pretty crazy to watch.
What happened?
Yeah. Okay, so Kingsley says either they suck or Cal ruined them, but y'all don't get to have it both ways. This must be no. He's got an Arkansas jersey or Arkansas shirt on here.
No, Kingsley. Yeah, I know. I follow him on Twitter.
Okay,
Wasn't this the Adu comment earlier?
Wait. At some point, y'all are just crying to get people to read your comments. Oh, he's talking about people in chat.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, I don't know what he's talking about.
I was like, we're not making. Well, we are making comments, but not readable ones.
Either they suck or Cal ruined them. Y'all. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's right. I think he's right. I don't think they suck. It's just, again, it comes down to it being a chemistry problem and not having, not having the roster to. I don't know. It's probably not a good thing that you have 4 guys that crowd up so many minutes, and over time, they're just going to be worn down and they're not going to be the same on the floor.
I still think Cal can be a different. I still think he can be a good coach, man. It's hard to look at the fact that it's his first year here. You know what I mean, with this team, because it's like he came in with such a freaking aura and just kicked so much ass for so long, and then it's like, well, you handpicked your team, and you know what I mean, and then they were all highly recruited and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, we're gonna kick ass this year, and then but the second we start sucking, it's like, oh crap.
I think to Ty's point earlier, we all focus on Cal always brings in 5 real good freshmen or some kind of crazy transfer class, but he always had a few guys to carry over from the year before. And this year we had, I mean, we barely had a guy to carry over. I've never really liked Brazil except for his first year with us. He's just never been the same. And that's who we carried over with for Cal. I mean, come on. I think I hate to throw away this season because we have a lot of talent, but chemistry takes time. And so I think next year, even if we just carry over a couple of guys, if we can, I think it'll make a big difference for next year.
I agree. They have to, like, it seems like the teams that do the best, especially in the tournament, not that Arkansas is going that far this year, but the teams that do better are typically teams that have 2 or 3 just like super seniors and guys that have played together for more than just the season they're playing in. So, and while that's not always the case, I know we could pick apart other teams, but it does certainly seem to be the case that we see those teams advance quite often and even get some upsets, against some higher seeded teams. So, yeah, I mean, They've got to get that. I agree. They've got to get 2 or 3 of these guys back.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, they're building that chemistry. I'm hoping what they're doing is they're building that chemistry knowing that we're going to have to do this again next year, but we're going to all be on hopefully the same page.
Just like we're building chemistry, so I'll quit interrupting you and Travis all the time. But I mean, seriously, the other thing being we brought in a class of 9 people, 8 people with Trevin Brazil. And so right now, the last game, the OU game, only 8 people played. And you've got injured Boogie Fland. You've got recovering Adu. I know we're sick of hearing that he's recovering, but he may not be 100%. He might be 95. You got Nelly Davis, who's had wrist issues the whole season. I mean, and you don't have enough players to scrimmage to begin with. So chemistry is going to be a problem the whole season. It's going to be a problem the whole season.
I don't even think they started scrimmaging until the year was already going.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they scrimmaged a full scrimmage until January 1st.
I like that we don't have a game during the week this week.
I don't.
You don't? You think they'll come in cold?
Well, no, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's nice to have that because I try to do 3 lives a week. That's kind of my goal, and the post games count. So I only got 1 post game this week and then this live. Like, that's always my goal in my head. I realize all I got to do is pump out content. It doesn't necessarily have to be live, but it is nice to kind of fall back on those post games a little bit. But no, they need the rest, and they need, especially with how thin they are, with there just being 8 guys, like they need the rest, and hopefully, I think they actually did practice today. I think that was on the list of things for them to do. I don't know what they're going to do the rest of the week, so that will be interesting to see how Cal does that, right? How he manages this week, because I'm going to wait to really get into Arkansas and Kentucky till later on in the week, but for Kentucky, it is, despite Arkansas's horrendous record, this is a huge game for them. This is a huge game.
I think the playing field's leveling out a little bit. It would have been a lot better if we'd have beat Oklahoma. But the records were getting closer. They were starting to, because Kentucky's been losing, and then we just keep losing too. So that's not awesome.
Well, I mean, they're still worlds apart, though, as teams. Like,
you think Kentucky's a lot better?
Oh yeah,
I think they're better.
Oh,
well,
we're gonna get smashed on Saturday. It's not going to even be a close game.
We'll see.
I think
Kentucky,
not having Boogie is a bad thing for this. Even if you feel like the team plays better without him, this is not a game that I don't want Boogie.
Yeah,
true. This is not that game.
That's a lot of assists and points that you're missing,
and not turning over the ball.
Yeah, yeah. Kentucky is 3-3, and the point that I would make about Kentucky, and I said this when they played Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's really, really hard to play on the road. They are probably one of the most underrated arenas to play in. They all, like Arkansas, struggled there over the years. Plenty of really good teams go in there. They either have to sneak out a win, go to overtime to win, or they get beat. And and I said it before that game. I was telling Discord, I don't know how many of them are left in here. I was telling them this is going to be an interesting matchup. I still picked Kentucky because I thought they would overcome that. And I don't know how much leeway I'm willing to give Vanderbilt this year. I don't know. They seem to be pretty damn good at 16-4 with 3 of their losses coming in SEC. So they're a tournament caliber team for sure. I don't know like how far up the totem pole they are when you mix them up with the other SEC teams. Kentucky's not been good away from Rupp. That's what you're seeing when you look at their record. And we all make that mistake. Like, oh, well, yeah, but they're 3-3 in SEC play. It's not like they're tearing the world on fire. That's true, or setting the world on fire. That's true, but it's away from Rupp. This is obviously being played inside Rupp. And Arkansas
the fans
already
gonna be fired up, dude.
It's like I said, it is a huge game for them just because of Cal. Not Arkansas factors in there because it's Arkansas. That is a rivalry, and I think it's only been turned up a little bit, I would say, since Arkansas brought Cal in and
a little bit
took their players and all that, and how much shit apparently some other folks were really giving them from the Arkansas fan base. I made fun of how goofy their coach is, but I also said I like the way that guy plays. I like the way he, I like his style. I like what they do, and that was before he even coached his first game at Kentucky. So, but I did make fun of him. I still think he's kind of a goofball, but
makes some great memes.
Yeah. This will be again, I'm curious what the spread's going to look like. I really am, because I'm thinking it's going to be Kentucky at 12, -12.
When does that come out? Does anyone know?
The night before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, BroThrow will have it up. I'll post it in Discord as soon as I refresh their page and find it. It should be up Friday night. What time is that game on Saturday? 8 o'clock.
Ooh, wait, they're just trying to kill us.
Someone said
how funny it would be if we beat them
for this.
You what?
I said someone said we would be live at Travis's house for this.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh crap! Nope. Never mind.
Oh,
I'll be on Little Rock.
Oh, yeah. That's fine, because I think I've got stuff going on that day too, so I don't know how available I'll be. But yeah, big game. And again, I wouldn't pick Arkansas. If the spread was at 12, I wouldn't take Arkansas to cover that.
I'm gonna be cussing in the Airbnb that weekend.
Pooh Bear brings up a good point. We said this a minute ago. McDonald's All-Americans don't lack talent. It's Cal not recruiting depth.
That's actually super valid.
Yeah.
Just don't have enough. You can be as good as you want, but if you got to play 40 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you're whooped.
Yeah, man. I mean, what What more do people want? I mean, they're doing everything they can on the floor. Yeah, execution does matter, and they need to execute on the floor. And, I have watched Cal coach quite a few possessions for Arkansas. And I don't know if that's something, maybe that's something a Kentucky fan could fill me in on, because I haven't watched enough Kentucky at Cal film to know if he coached every single possession the way that he has. I really think, again, they're having a hard time. It's either buying in or they're just freaking tired. And they're,
Yeah, because there's been a lot of times you're watching and the shot's set up. They just miss it.
Oh, they don't fall. John L. Davis, my God.
Man.
How many open looks? Teams are getting to the point where they're like, just let him shoot. Let's just,
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get over to some football really quick before we move any further.
Before we start crying and turn on Jelly Roll, save me.
There it is. See if we can get this up on the screen. Here we go. Arkansas picks up a currently unranked. I think 247 has him as a 3. This is Ari Slocum out of Farmerville, Louisiana, part of the 2026 class out of Union Parish. Missouri was, I can confirm this, and obviously he even had a future cast. They were all over this kid. Missouri wanted this. He wanted this guy, 6'4", 280 pounds, commits today. This is I wouldn't look too much into the unranked stuff because it's still fairly early in the cycle, just like with Tucker Young out of Hot Springs. I'm from what I understand, yeah, Ari Slocum will absolutely be rated. He will get some stars. No clue how many. Tucker Young, I've heard the same, but I kind of thought that would happen by now, actually. But they got to get through some camps and get through the offseason. We'll kind of see where they're at once we get closer to the midway point of the cycle. But Ari Slocum did commit today. It's a good one. Good-sized kid, good motor. Can kind of play inside, outside. They are really aggressive with this 2026 class. And I'm going to try and zoom this in if I can do it without screwing up my computer. Here we go.
I've had that pulled up the whole game, and I didn't know you were putting it on the screen, so it's just been on a side window.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, oh, cool. He put it on the screen.
Yeah. It's the one thing about StreamYard that is pretty handy. But there you go. You got 2 4-stars. Now here's what I think is going to happen. I think Javion Gilmore is going to get a bump. I don't know what his on 3 is. I'm pretty sure he's a 3 on 247. But Javion Gilmore is apparently has picked up some steam in his recruiting.
Actually, Mello just mentioned Archer. Are they done with that? What are they doing there?
I don't know. I don't know. Who knows, right? I mean, they took two quarterbacks in this class when they told one of them who had been committed for a while that they were only taking one quarterback, and then they altered course when Madden Iamaliava decided to.
No, you got the name figured out, bro.
I've been doing it. I've been pretty.
It's a tough one.
It is tough, man. It took a lot of practice.
I mean, how would you turn him down just because you told somebody else?
I don't think they knew they were going to get Iamaliava.
I know what I'm saying. He comes available.
Yeah,
it's not like you're going.
Well, it's listen. They do this. This happens more than people realize. I mean, I could tell you they tell players something and they change course all the time. I mean, I guarantee you that probably wasn't the first time Pittman's done that, or we know Bobby's certainly guilty of that. Ty, you think it gets better with football? I don't know.
Transplanted Texan said, will big pickups for 2026 will big pickups for 2026 will give 100-yard check cover to keep saying it's probably what he's trying to do. We were talking about that off air a little bit. Couldn't hurt.
It won't. It's something you could put on your resume as to why you don't want to fire me, because I'm building up a pretty good 2026 class. Listen, this will be. I think they will end up with a better class unless they change plans halfway through and maybe they decide to not hand out as many scholarships. We know they're about to change things up as far as how the NIL and all this stuff work. Well, not the NIL, but the collective bargain agreement's going to change. The amount of scholarships has already changed. The SEC's got their stuff going on. So if they take the same number of players, I think this will end up being a better class. I think part of that is because we got to see just what Bobby Petrino can do year one with let's just be real. Green is I think he was still kind of a lower risk experiment for Bobby Petrino. And I mean that by
Green.
or Green. Who do I keep saying?
You said Green, you're right.
Okay.
I said, do you think he was kind of green?
Oh.
Dad joke.
But I think it was and I say low risk because he had years under his belt as a starter. He had, games under his belt. And I think Bobby obviously knew what he was getting there, and it wasn't like wasn't like a big dice roll. He kind of had an idea of what he was going to do. And so it obviously worked out. Didn't score as much as we would like. In between the 20s, Green was, let's just be real, especially towards the middle of the year and moving forward up until, when he got hurt or when his protection broke down, he was pretty automatic in between the 20s. It was like once they got into the red zone, the offense just could not score. They struggled. And that obviously had an impact on Green. Like the reputation of Green would be much higher, let's say, if he had 25 passing touchdowns along with his rushing touchdowns as opposed to what he ended up with. But I think that has reached these kids. This still is Bobby Petrino. This is still a guy that can operate an offense at a very high level. And he did it. I don't agree at all with the idea that he had amazing talent last year. I don't agree with that at all. The offensive line was probably talent-wise one of the bottom 5 offensive lines in the SEC. Outside of Armstrong, I kind of agree with some people in Discord about this. I don't know that they really had a whole lot of great targets to throw to outside of Armstrong. And then you had some guys that were injury prone along with that, like you're looking at Haz, the tight end, and then the issues you had with Washington and Gums. It's not like they were loaded to the brim with a bunch of talent. And I think that's what they did. They went out they got Crutchfield and some of these other guys that were, even though they're not from big schools, guys that did have some pretty good offers, they're able to bring them in. And guys that were also familiar with Petrino brought them in. You talk about the tight end from Texas A&M. That dude was pretty sure he was a unanimous 4-star.
Yep.
When he committed at Texas A&M. So I think they've gotten off to this quick start. And yeah, I think there's an argument to be made. Is this a resume? Like, is this an attempt at, listen, you got to keep me, if I only win 6 games this year, you still got to keep me because look at this 26 class. But I don't know that this class is going to be high enough for that to be something you could tout, and let's be real too. Fans no longer look at high school recruiting the same way they once did. It is not a back pocket move anymore. It's not like oh my God, look at this class. Like, no one believes these kids are going to stay beyond a year.
Right.
So it dampers the excitement for recruiting.
I just wonder if he starts losing recruits with losses. That's the big question too.
You can always spin that, and that's what they're talking about with Calipari, that he's spinning that. Look how bad we are. We need you here. And you could, I guess, but
that's true.
I think if he only wins 6, even despite how tough the schedule is, I think he's I don't know how you justify. Here we are, deja vu. We said the same thing last year, but I don't know how you justify keeping him. Even if, let's say, right now it's the 11th overall ranked class for the class of 2026. I was looking at some SEC teams earlier. Like, there's some teams that they're not hitting the recruiting trail as hard yet. There are a bunch of teams that only have 1 or 2 commitments. I think Missouri has just 1 commitment. That's a kid out of Little Rock, 4-star defensive lineman. There's plenty of schools that had quite a bit of success this year that are not. They don't have half as many commitments that Arkansas does. And these are teams out of the SEC. So
I'm telling you, that Tennessee game last year saved his job.
Oh,
straight up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's like, see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just saved his ass completely.
Well, and it was, let's not lie. It was a good win. It was a really good win.
It was a fun game to watch.
It was. I didn't, throughout the first half, I was thinking, I don't know if the defense can keep doing this. I don't know if they can keep these long drives going. And they did. They put together, that was probably one of the best game plan / executed games I've seen since Pittman's been here. And that's not saying a ton, but let's not act like that 2021 season wasn't pretty fun to watch too. And that was he certainly had some wins that year that were great. That was definitely one he's going to add to his resume. He beat Tennessee, who was really damn good this year.
Oh, I thought we were screwed in that game. Like whenever, you know what I mean? Just going in that whole week, I don't even think I partook in any, BS like trash talk on Twitter or nothing. I was just like, I'm just going to be quiet this week.
Yeah. The question with TG is he going to spend the offseason getting better, working with receivers, or oh my God, I didn't even read that.
You highlighted it. Good job. Dude, I think he is. Regardless of how much money any of these dudes are making, they're still athletes, man.
Well, it's funny what people think these guys do with their free time. While some of it is kind of true, like they're kids. They're gonna go out. You're probably gonna see Instagram pictures of them, I don't know, out skating or at the bowling alley, and fans take that as, oh, well, they're not taking the offseason serious. Dirt. Like, bro, they're kids. They're going to go out and do their thing.
Just don't ride any scooters. Somebody got injured on a scooter last year.
They've had a couple of players get injured from scooters.
Damn scooters, man.
But I could tell you from watching Green, that dude works his ass off. I definitely do not believe that Green wasn't taking last year serious at all. And that's coming from not just me, but that's anyone who got to watch him in practice. This dude worked his ass off. And I think in his off time, listen, I'm going to give him a lot of praise. He hung out with his offensive line. Now, they didn't turn out to be the best.
He was doing podcasts with them and stuff.
I mean, he was working with them, building that camaraderie, building that team. He is a team player. I like Green a lot. A lot of things that he did that I'm just like, dude, oh my God, you're single-handedly killing this drive. But then he's like, he is taking this serious and he wants to get better. And this idea that fans just believe that these guys screw off in the offseason all the time. Well, yeah, again, you're going to see them say shit on social media and take pictures, but that's a slight second in their offseason lives. They're going to go out and be kids. All right. Mm-hmm. But come springtime, especially with Bobby Petrino, who's barking in your ear, you better believe he's going to be working on.
He knows what's coming in practice.
Let me ask you this. Would Camo have said something like this? You remember the Ryan Mallett smoking with Snoop Dogg? You remember all that? May rest in peace. Ryan Mallett, rest in peace. But there was so much that came out of it. I can't believe, you could probably Google it. And there's a picture of Snoop Dogg wearing the number 15. He's wearing Ryan Mallett. I think he's wearing number 15. And Mallett was at that concert, and there were all kinds of rumors that he wasn't taking the offseason serious. And if I remember that right, that was after his first year as the starter at Arkansas. And that next year, what did he do? He lit the world on fire. I mean, he's still considered probably the best, just raw talent-wise, best quarterback Arkansas's ever had.
He was a guy that you knew when the game was on the line, you're like, we got this.
Well, sometimes.
That's how I felt for the most part.
I mean, that Alabama game, that defensive end jumped out in the flats and picked him off. That was and that was when the game was on the line. But yeah, he, like the Georgia game on the road, I mean, he got them together, and it was, that throw he made. I mean, he I'm not gonna say he single-handedly won that game for Arkansas, but he Mallett certainly turned it up, man. I mean, there were times when that dude was just, it seemed like he was unstoppable. His throws were on the dime, 40 yards downfield. Arm talent wise,
like that. I miss feeling like my team's gonna kick your team's ass, bro.
Yeah,
that was awesome. It was good old days.
I mean, let's not act like everything was bad in 24 though. Like this idea that everything has to be looked at negatively, what happened last year, that's just, man, I don't know. That's biology. We want to look at everything through like a negative lens. They did some things right last year. And I think getting Talon Green and working on him, although I still feel like they, should have had a real quarterback battle between him and, the old boy that transferred. But I think it could end up being a big benefit of getting him here, year one, having the kind of performance that he did, and then getting an offseason with him, with Petrino, first time in his career, by the way. Green's going to have the same coordinator back-to-back years. I think that could be a net positive. Didn't do everything right this year, but they did win 6. They also lost 6. They actually ended up winning more than they lost. They won their bowl game despite how depleted they were. I think there's some reason for cautious optimism. just in terms of the product on the field. I don't mean they're going to go out and win 9 games. I'm not saying that.
I'll be full on Kool-Aid chugging by August.
Oh, you will.
Will it take you that long, really? Let's be honest.
Do y'all think Nick Perry is an upgrade?
I don't know much about Nick Perry. I know he coached at Seattle and some other places. I looked at his resume for a minute. I just can't. Ty, you know anything about this guy?
Yeah, he played in the NFL. He played for
he played for Alabama.
Yeah. It's a guy with some experience. You know, I mean, he's still young, but you know, he's got some time in the NFL. I mean, I don't know. He's going to have help back there. I'm going to say this. That is like my biggest area of concern is the defense.
Yeah.
I'm off the Travis Williams bandwagon. I'm off of it. I haven't 2 years, and they're actually probably worse than where they were at with Barry Odom, who apparently great head coach now. Well, at where he was, UNLV, certainly was not at Mizzou, but we'll see what he does with his next gig. But somehow it felt like they actually took steps backwards this last year. Now their run defense was pretty good. I thought the defensive line, even though I had issues with, like, you know, Jackson never really turned out to be anything great. Although I'm reading people think he could be a top 4 draft pick, could be a 4th or 3rd round draft pick. We'll see about that. But I'm just not sold on Travis Williams. I like Marcus Woodson. Deke Adams brings experience, but I'm just not. I don't know.
I still think Deke needs replaced.
I mean,
man,
as far as
Landon was good, but
as far as Travis goes, I mean, maybe this is a position coach thing, or maybe it comes from the top down. But it seems like our defense was pretty undisciplined. And that comes from things like watching the OSU game, and we have this game in the bag, and we have somebody body slam a guy. Like, that's just undisciplined. That's just stupid. And it seemed like there were moments in multiple games where our guys just made the boneheaded decisions on defense that cost us penalties and cost us 4th down opportunities. And again, maybe that's a position coach thing, but I feel like that comes from the top down. Like, discipline should come from not just Sam, but from your defensive coordinator, and say, guys, we don't do stupid things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's all on a linebacker coach to stop a linebacker from doing something stupid. That comes from the top and says, of all the things, we don't do the stupid things.
Yeah. And you're right. It cost them some moments this year for sure. And I agree. You can argue it comes all the way from Sam, but Travis Williams is the defensive coordinator. And
I just look at Sam like a CEO head coach at this point. I don't think he coaches anything really. I know I say this almost every time we talk about it, but I go back to him saying, I don't want to step on the toes of my offensive line coach. Dude, you're an idiot. You are the best offensive line coach in college football, and you don't want to step on your minions' toes. That's stupid. So he's more like a CEO head coach. I think Bobby runs the offense. I think Travis runs the defense. And at that point, discipline comes down to Travis Williams. And we were pretty undisciplined at times. It was bad.
Yeah, especially on defense. So I you know, not sold on Travis. Again, I agree. Everything you just said, I agree. Marcus Woodson's nice. And listen, I wouldn't mind if they wanted to replace Travis and just promote Marcus Woodson. That guy can recruit. They keep wanting to go down into the South Georgia, North Florida area and recruit that region. Marcus Woodson could do that. I mean, after all, he did coach at Florida State, and he's got some history in that part of the world. So I would be fine if they would just wanted to promote Marcus Woodson. But don't get me wrong, I'd prefer them go out and find someone with some experience. But there was a comment here. Here we go. Talking about Taylor Green. Ty, if he can simply read a defense, we might have won another game or two. Receivers running wide open everywhere. Some you had to be at the game to see rather than on TV. Hopefully he improves. Hog Blitz.
He did miss some open ones this
what
year,
quarterback doesn't?
Well,
Name
fair.
a quarterback that doesn't.
That's fair.
I watched Jackson Dart this year. The guy, you should have seen what the fans were saying about Jackson Dart on Twitter.
Name
Really?
a quarterback who has as little time as Taylon Green had hitting all the open
100%.
receivers.
100%. Hog Blitz, I'm not going to pile on the guy. He is on our Discord, and I don't know that I've ever seen him really say anything positive about Razorback football. He certainly
My burner, that's right.
no, because Tim will come at it with at least like
Tim
he'll have
put his face
something
on it.
something behind it, right? Like Hog Blitz just comes out like he just blindly hates Sam and Hunter and wants to fire everybody, and it's all on Taylon Green, it's all on this guy and this guy. I just while at times I get where he's coming from, but like this take here is silly. Like he's not. You say that you just had to be at the game, man. I talked to people that were at the game, people who do this professionally, who watch these guys. Stephen Hamner from QB Spotlight, while not at the game, has watched plenty of Taylon Green film and will tell you that it wasn't always on Taylon Green. Did he miss guys? Yes. Did he overthrow guys? Yes. Did he not hit them in stride? That was a gripe that Tim and I had at the beginning of the year. This guy could not hit people in stride. It drove us crazy.
Yes.
Plenty of things. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Killed Arkansas on some drives. You go back to the, several moments this last year. And it wasn't just on him either. You had other guys fumbling the way the second half imploded against Oklahoma State. But you also have to look at it was also because of Green, like why you won a lot of those games as well, why you ended up with 6 wins. Jaquindon Jackson, a heavy dose of him, which, by the way, I don't know that they have a replacement for him, and that's the other thing. I don't know what to expect for next year's at running back. But
I'm telling you, I think Green's going to be the best running back on our roster, dude.
You think so?
I do. Comparable to what they brought in. What's that other? There's another kid that made
Mexico State.
Oh, Braylon. Braylon's there too.
Yeah.
Well, Braylon's going to have to lose 15 pounds.
He probably will if he wants to make some money.
That dude. I mean, you're
I'll go back.
Tree trunk died.
His legs were
I'll go back to the same thing though. He's either in it to play football or he's in it to find an agent and get his next gig and get his next paycheck. I called that all the way back, I think, at the Tennessee game. You guys remember it. The day after the game, he posts, "Agents, give me a call," and I'm like, he's done. He's done. Yeah. Because that's all he really wanted. I had one big game. Pay me.
I was gonna say, if you want to make yourself worth more money, you got to play a little bit. So he better have some good games if he wants to make some money.
Not enough carries right now to build up a lot of momentum if you're talking about like just the free market value on him. But the potential is where it's at for him if he wants to make the big dollars. And next year is going to be big for him wherever he ends up. I'm still not 100% sold he's going to be in a Razorback jersey in 2025. I'm not. I hope I'm wrong because I do think he's got a lot of potential. And I'm with Tim also here where he says he needs to lose some weight. I've always thought that. Kind of, the last 10 or 15 carries, he didn't have that same – he didn't look like he had any burst. He just looked so slow. So I don't know. But, yeah. We'll see what they do at the running back spot. Who knows? Put that damn record on – wait, what?
Oh, you
go back to these kids.
Dude said these kids. Yeah, I don't even know what F&G box is.
Oh, okay.
Victrola.
It is funny. A lot of the kids are probably like, "That's a cool word." Like,
Michael Kerper says Sam. Okay, I think this is Kerper just being. This is a dig at Hog Blitz.
Positive guy.
No, I think Kerper's just. This is a dig.
Yeah, go back one more on Kerper.
This one.
Yeah,
I think Sam's incompetence will flow. Will flow into DVH coaches this year. So this is him being okay. It's shown the last 2 seasons with us not getting out of our own regional. It has affected Cal this year.
It's all downhill from here, guys.
I mean, that is kind of the mindset that some people do have.
I wish you had that Trail of Tears article.
Oh, I do. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I had it up on the screen.
The shape. Someone's showing the shape.
I got to show the shape. The Trail of Tears. I don't know if you guys saw this. It turns out.
It's kind of creepy.
There you go.
Let's pull this up. If you guys did not see this, it's I don't know. It's either sad or
it's true. I've been telling you we were cursed for years. The J Will jersey couldn't even help.
Yeah, but true.
Here we go. Sideline says we really are cooked. And it's the Trail of Tears shaped like a Razorback.
So funny, bro. They literally turned the opacity down and put it to show the shape. It's like you kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Wow.
Manny C
Travis
says, my theory
the
is
curse is real. There's
Yeah,
the
man.
curse right there.
There it
yeah,
is.
look, the stadiums are right on that up there in the top left corner.
Yeah, right
I'm
there.
serious. There's signs. It says it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've been there forever.
Cool.
The Trail of Tears. Like this first sign I ever saw was when I was in junior high at Ramey, and there was one of those signs right outside the junior high. It was like Trail of Tears runs through here. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like shit going to school here.
Our favorite football team's stadium is built on an Indian burial ground.
It's a phonograph. Oh man. Hey, look at this. We got some positivity here. Jeremy Blackford says Arkansas wins 7 next year. Now, let's clear this up. Are you talking about football? Or are you
talking about
Basketball.
what are the specifics here?
he's talking about basketball.
I'm going with that. I'm just going to say yes. We'll win 7.
There you go. 7 total wins next year.
They win 7, they'll give Sam a promotion.
Oh, they will.
He said below that 8 with a bowl.
He saved
Oh,
the
he
program.
did. He said it right there. 8 with a bowl win. Okay,
Oh,
my
yeah.
bad.
Bowl.
My bad. I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
You know, with some good wide receivers, and if the guys they got on the line are actually any better, maybe we could, but who the heck knows, man?
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do, and no doubt this offseason's crucial. Spring is crucial. I like what they did here with this class out of the portal, but it's still not – it's a really top-heavy class. But I will go into I'll go into more of that as the offseason progresses. For the love of Christ, I got to have something to talk about.
John Hall's in here.
Damn sure not going to talk about football.
Hey, we got to answer Mr. DC Kyle.
Basketball, rather.
He's asked this twice. I think.
He has. Yeah, I
Wait,
forgot
what?
about it. Mr. DC Kyle, we were talking about it off air. He asked what we thought about the recruiting class this year that Dave Van Horn's bringing in.
I mean, it's, according to Perfect Game, it's really good. I mean, it's one of the best. His transfer class, I think Tim pointed out, was the second best class in the country.
Second best.
Legit, dude.
I
hope
don't
we do it this year. We need it, man. We need something.
Definitely address some pitching.
I thought
definitely
basketball
big
was going to
time
handle our football woes, but no, I need baseball to handle it.
Well, it's definitely going to be about what they do. Like fans, I kind of feel like fans expect greatness during the regular season, but know what's around the corner once the regionals come around, because of the last 2 years, they couldn't get out of their own regional.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's unfair. I mean,
you see what John said? He said, but they'll suck and it'll be Sam Pittman's fault.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the misery train tonight. I like it.
Everybody is, for sure. Hey, if you guys do any sports betting, we got Kansas City and Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. I know everyone's so excited for that. Like nobody is bummed out whatsoever that it's these two playing each other again. No one's upset that the dumbest fan base – I'm sorry, that the Philadelphia Eagles are
Tim's like, excuse you?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Did you see that article about Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia? It's their illiteracy rate is like insanely high.
That's why I don't live there.
At least they can't read the article.
Man, it's okay.
They can't read the
I was
article.
happy to see the Rams go down on the Eagles. I mean, to the Eagles.
Yeah. The snow bailed that out, man. That was a good game until that damn snow.
Everybody's seen this game, and there's like,
I'm gonna be real. I'm happy for Tim, but I don't even know if I want to watch this. I just don't give a shit.
I'm watching it.
Kansas. I know you are. Any excuse to
drink and eat hot wings, I'm down, bro.
Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia. Yeah. You're gonna actually win a ring this time. Kansas City -1.5 on the spread. The money line at -115. Total points. The over/unders at 49.5.
See what I see happening here. The Eagles took a ring away from Tom Brady. Now I'm to take a ring away from Patrick Mahomes. I'm okay.
Bro, I know. I just seen that, Tim. ELGSES.
That was the mayor, was it not? That did that?
I like it.
Oh my God. Oh Lord.
Eagles frat.
And I'm
Eagles
out of
frat.
here.
Tim's leaving. We got to put his resting Tim face up.
So if you guys want to get it on some sports betting here, BroThrow is peer-to-peer. They're a sponsor of Tusk Talk with Ty. Go lay down a bet, man. Go make you some money. I'm thinking about it. I really am. And I'm not going to lie. A part of me wants to go ahead and just take Philly. I really do.
I'm betting on the refs.
I have the Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs to win, but I think I'm going to change it. I don't know. It's just something. I think Philly might actually get this.
My son became a bandwagon Chiefs fan
from the Chiefs. I want the Eagles to win, but it's hard to play 14-11.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
That's true.
I mean,
that's fair.
Have the Chiefs had a game this season that didn't come down to a couple of photographs? Like people showing like, oh, how did this call happen? And it went in favor of the Chiefs every single game. There's at least 34 photographs this season where it was miscalled. And always benefited the Chiefs.
Buckle up, Timmy. It's gonna be a bad game for you.
Oh, they're gonna get calls for sure.
Travis's house.
Yes.
I don't buy that there's this, the big conspiracy theory that it's all rigged. I don't buy that, but I do think that it just seems like Kansas City just seems to always get the benefit of the doubt on these calls. And it's crazy. It has gotten to the point where it is just absurd.
They got some Bama privilege to them.
It certainly feels that way. And it's wild too. Who would have thought when we were all kids, okay, I could buy Philly being in Super Bowls and the Patriots, of course. Who would have thought that Kansas City would become the new Patriots? Who would have ever thought that?
Kansas City was the place you went for cheap tickets to every sport.
Exactly.
Even though they had cheap baseball.
Even though they had Marcus Allen at running back, who's still really fun to watch. He's my favorite. They were loaded, but they could never. I say they were loaded. They were pretty good. They had good players that could never do anything. They were terrible. And now they're so hated. It's reminiscent of how we felt about Tom Brady and the Patriots, which is just, I don't know. Maybe that's why they get all the calls. I don't know. John says the Eagles got a run game. We've seen KC, but yeah, and this is the other thing too. Eagles can just run the hell out of the ball. I mean, that is just a really strong. I mean, the second best back in the NFL this year.
Well, Saquon definitely benefited from leaving the Giants and going to the Eagles.
Oh my God. Oh, Giants fans, God bless. All right. Okay. Well, boys, it was fun. I'm sure we'll do this again next week. We're going to try and make this the new thing for you guys to hop on over. Hey, everyone who's watching this, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Again, go follow these guys on Twitter. SEC Unleashed is just kind of up in the air right now, but
we're figuring it out.
It's
my time right now sucks.
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
For sure. Same here. I know Tim's busy too, man. Dad life is it's full time all the time. So shout out to, of course, the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, and BroThrow. Patreon supporters. We're going to start the giveaway on these On3 cards on wheel spins, probably in Discord in February. So you got time to sign up if you want to get one of these cards, man. And out of these boxes, the boxes I think are $75 if you want a box. I'm just saying if you want to go buy one. But there's 6 packs and one of them will have an autographed card in there. So good luck to whoever wins one of these bad boys. So all right. That's it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out, guys. It was it's always fun to have a boys' night.
Yeah, boy.
It is. Good times.
So waiting on a Hunter show.
When they fire him, we'll do a Hunter show.
Yeah, when he gets fired, we'll bring him right on.
We'll throw a friggin' party.
All right, everybody. Be good. We'll see you later on in the week.
Yep.